So in order to get this started, in order to ease into this, because I'm kind of afraid to do this, I decided to at my gym, I use an 8-inch mat, an 8-inch thick mat to ease into it, um, for safety reasons. In case I fail and land on my face, at least the mat's there to cushion my fall. And also to encourage me just a bit because I'm not ready to try it on the floor. I I tried this, and just as I had suspected, it took me a good amount of time to get encouraged to actually go for it, even with the mat. Um, Also, a lot of times I made sure that there weren't people around, so that I wouldn't have to worry about the peer pressure aspect of all this. Um, so yes, again, it took a while for me to get encouraged to try and do it. Every time I'd attempt it, I'd go for it, but it's just a regular jump to my back, and without the twisting or any of the rest of the motions, I just go up and just fall on my back onto the mat. I was getting a little frustrated at this, so I somewhat tried to force myself into doing it, and that still didn't work. So I tried something new. I tried things that would usually get me hyped and get me to forget about my worries and other stuff. Um, I would try to imagine and visualize moments in my life. I've done tricks that got me excited, like back handspring to a full, uh, gainers, front flips, Arabians, etc. Um, you can look all those up if you want. I have no link, but because I just said them, you can just type them in YouTube or something. But yes, I'd visualize and imagine those things. Especially the first time I tried any of those things, because there's no beating the first time of anything. I'm sure all of you know about that. Um, I would try to fill my head as much as I possibly can, visualizing all these moments in my life, doing great things, doing things that would always fill me with adrenaline, and hopefully it would outweigh the fears of doing the corkscrew. And to a degree, it would work. At the very least, it's slow. I could slowly feel my encouragement rising, and I'd be getting an urge to. Okay, maybe not an urge. Maybe urge is pushing it, but I would. My desire to do to attempt the corkscrew would slowly rise up, very slowly, but just enough to at least try it. So with this in mind, I gained enough encouragement to go for the corkscrew. I tried it on the mat, of course, and I've kind of this time I twisted, but I kind of fell on my face. But it was fine. It was fine because even though I didn't exactly get the outcome I wanted, it's still a step forward. I even used a bit of self talk at this time, that this was telling stuff to myself like that was great. That's a big step forward. That this is progress. Also, I tend to use a lot of self talk, even when I'm trying to build myself up. Like before, I use imagery and visualization. I tell myself that this is something I've done before. You already know you're capable of doing it, so you should just try it. Just let your body do its thing. It won't let itself get hurt. Now, trying this and landing on my face, I despite not getting the outcome I wanted, I still was encouraged enough to try it again, this time with more focus into it, with more awareness of what I was doing. And so I tried to put my fears aside. This time, well, actually, no, I didn't even try to put my fears aside. My fears were still there, but still, I want to just ignore them just for this one moment and attempt the corkscrew, visualize all these things that would get me hyped up to attempt it. I would go for it, and this time I kind of landed on my feet, but I also needed my hands to break the fall. At least it was better than my face anyway. So yeah, and all this on the mat too. There's a link for this. It's right after this one. Um, and as just to give you a heads up in the future, a lot of links of me doing the actual corkscrew will be put right after the links of me talking. So just to give you a general idea of the pattern of how these things are gonna go. But in any case, I did it. I did the corkscrew, and I feel like that was a major step forward. Even though I landed on my hands, and even though I used the mat, even so, that was probably the most successful corkscrew I did without the aid of peer pressure or without a lot of people being there to peer pressure me into it. And I think it's only going to get better from here.